Hi guys, it's me Ray and welcome to another video of mine. Today we have a very special guest. It is my cousin Peace. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself in a moment. Isn't she gorgeous? So guys, I am starting a new series. You've probably seen the first episode already where I am documenting the lives of normal Nigerians, so Nigerians living in Nigeria, and my hope is that I will be documenting the lives of Nigerians throughout the world and other Africans. So if you want to find out more, make sure you stay tuned. So Peace, over to you. Please introduce yourself.
All right. My name is Monisola Peace Oyelupo. I run a bridal business, Brides by Wonders. So initially, the plan was to learn how to bake and go into baking of wedding cakes and other celebration cakes. But I didn't really have the money to learn how to bake. So in 2017, a friend of mine was getting married. Then she was looking for someone to help her fix her wedding dress, fix her flower, arrange our whole wedding, plan everything because she was so busy. So I took it upon myself. I planned the wedding. I got the decorator.
Wow.
The papers. She got her dress. It was big, and she didn't realize her dress was big till about a week to her wedding. It was very tough.
Right.
But then I got a very good seamstress, and the dress came out beautiful.
Wow.
She was so happy that after our wedding, she said, "I think we should start a bridal business." And she gave me a wedding gown that I should use it to start.
Wow.
Then that was how I just started. She really encouraged me though.
Wow, brilliant. Just for those who are watching, I know where you're from, Lo, but where are you from?
Oh, Lagos.
Have you lived in Lagos? I know these answers, but have you lived in Lagos all your life? Are you a mainland? Are you island?
I stay on the mainland.
Yeah.
I stay in Oshodi on the mainland.
Woo, woo, Oshodi, stand up. So in terms of setting up your business, so you said you wanted to go bake, you thought you were going to pursue a career as a baker, but then you know you fell into the bridal business. Did you go to school for cooking? Did you go to culinary school, or was it what prompted you to at first want to become a baker?
Well, I like cooking, and most times whenever someone celebrates their birthday in my house, I'm like the official cook. I'm the one who makes the food. I make the food, I make the snack, I make everything. At some point, I used to make snacks and pastries for my mom's church whenever they have any special program, their anniversary, their children's day, or their family weekend. I was the one who used to make the donuts, the meat pies, and everything for them.
Yeah.
In my church too, I used to sell snack before, but sales was very challenging. Like sales wasn't really challenging. It was the increase in the products that was very discouraging. It was a very huge challenge.
Yeah.
Because then I couldn't increase the price because it would look as if I was cheating them. I had to retain the price, but then I wasn't really making so much money, so I decided to stop.
Yeah.
So I decided to stop. Then I wanted to go to a proper culinary school. Then money was a challenge. The one I saw around me, very good culinary school, but it was so expensive then, 150,000 naira for just 3 weeks. A friend of mine offered to teach me, but unfortunately she moved out of Lagos.
Right.
She moved to Enugu. So I couldn't really connect. Then I started learning on my own. In fact, I used to sell it to one of my friends at that time. Whenever I wanted to bake for his friend's birthday, he used to call me to do it for him.
Wow.
But after a while, I just said, let me do my master's now. So I went back to school, did my master's, finished my master's. So I still want to bake. I still want to dress brides.
Yeah.
I still want to bake and fix up brides for their weddings. That's just what I love doing.
Yeah.
It comes very easy actually.
Brilliant. So let's just go back on the comments that you mentioned that relate to inflation. So if anyone has been following the news in Nigeria or what's happening in Nigeria forever, but especially as of late, we see inflation is just out of the window. So even if you make a big chunk of money, the cost of goods have, you know, increased in price. So how do you manage that as a small business owner? How do you manage that from your day to day? So even you've mentioned that, you know, there's other things you want to do, but because of, let's say, inflation, lack of funding, how are you able to run a business? How are you able to essentially survive, as we like to say in Nigeria? We're just managing. How are you able to manage yourself with the constant up and down? I don't know what the exchange rate is at the moment, but I'll ensure I put it on the screen, the pound to the naira, naira to the pound.
Yeah, at first it was very, very challenging, extremely challenging, because when I started renting out wedding gowns, I used to rent out wedding gowns for as cheap as 10,000 naira,
Wow.
8,000 naira. It was cheap. But now, I don't even think you can see a good wedding gown of 20,000 naira to rent. Like, you're going to get an old gown. So you can imagine, at that time, I used to rent a gown for 10,000 naira, 15,000 naira, and I used to have my own profit. Because then, after renting it out, whenever I get the dresses back, I give it to the dry cleaner, and the dry cleans for 2,000, 2,500. So I'll still have about 7,000 or 8,000 naira as my gain. But now, the last time I dry cleaned the wedding gown, I paid 6,000 naira.
Wow.
To dry clean alone is 6,000 naira. They keep complaining that we know they run on generator and the price of fuel has increased.
Yeah.
So that one has increased. So it's very challenging. You can imagine. We used to rent our gown for 10,000 naira and wash it for 2,000. Now we are washing it for 5,000 naira.
Wow.
And even buying the dresses, before you could get a wedding gown of 20,000 naira and rent it out for 10,000. But you can't even get a good wedding gown to buy of 50,000 naira now, except you give a very good seamstress. Even if you give a seamstress, they won't want to collect less than 70,000 naira. So this has kind of discouraged a lot of brides to be. So now you see brides going for custom-made dresses that they can convert. That's convertible dresses. So after their wedding day, they can just take out the tail and then use it for other occasions. So it's very challenging because on the side of the vendors, we can't bring down the price. We have to increase the price so we can also make profits. But to the brides to be, it looks as if we're cheating them. But it's a huge challenge on both ends as well.
Absolutely. Have you seen an increase of those getting married or a decline? Because you mentioned how some are now opting for dresses that they can use in the future. So do you think that the inflation is even encouraging people or influencing people to not get married as of yet? Or are people still getting married as normal? Because I know in Nigeria we have quite a celebratory culture, so regardless of what's happening, people are still celebrating. I remember some years back, I think the first time I came to Nigeria, I think we just came out of recession or something, and I was like, is there a recession? And then there was this joke of like recession where people were still one shy or one jay by, like, and you just think so yes, inflation is there, but have you seen a decline in your customers? Are people still getting married? So what is it really impacting, you know, people's decision to get married in Nigeria?
Funny enough, people are getting married though. It's surprising actually. Like, are really getting married. It's surprising. At times I begin to question that, is there really inflation in this country? Or I'm just it? You'll be shocked.
Wow.
You'll be shocked at how elaborate weddings are. Even with everything that is going on, people are still getting married.
I see it all the time.
And spending a whole lot on weddings.
Do you think that is because of the mindset we have, Nigerians? The mindset Nigerian has, like, in terms of like, they just love to like just enjoy life. Is that, you know, and is that mindset? Do you see it as a bad thing as a Nigerian living in Nigeria? Do you think it's a good thing because it means someone like yourself can always still get business? Or what are some of the impacts of that that mindset of, oh, last, let me just enjoy because one day we're going to die? Do you know what I mean? So
it has both upsides and downsides. On the upside, the vendors are making their money, but on the downside, most people actually borrow money. They acquire loans to do weddings. And it doesn't make sense to me. Personally, I'll have a small wedding.
You don't and you were the first born. There's no small wedding for us. Let's be real, man.
My parents decide to make the wedding big. Fine, you will host your guests, I will host my guests.
Right.
I don't mind.
No.
Because it's a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, you find people borrowing. Of recent, a friend of mine got married.
Yeah.
Her parents live in the US.
Okay.
So all the money they sent to her for the wedding was almost 3 million naira. That's from the money from her parents' side. Wow. Apart from the money from her husband's side, the money her husband dropped, the money she herself dropped personally, the wedding was over, all the costing was over 5 million naira. And I'm like, wow, this money is too much. If you give me 3 million for wedding, I won't use more than half. I'll keep the money, please.
Just to give some context, please do correct me if I'm wrong. I think the last time we spoke about the average salary. So when I first came to Nigeria, that was 2016. The average salary then was 18,000 naira, and it's gone up by 30,000 naira. However, you have things such as inflation. There was a time in Nigeria, I think last year or even this year, whereby a bag of rice was matching, and in some areas of Nigeria exceeding the average salary. So average salary is like 30,000 naira. So if someone is spending 3 million on a wedding, and the average salary for the average Nigerian who is working, because there's several Nigerians that aren't working, unfortunately, it is a lot of money, you know. So yeah, so just to give people some context, because like, 3 million naira, you start, some of us start calculating in pounds, but you have to remember the environment you're living in and what the majority of people are going through, which is it's quite shocking. But as a small business owner, what are some of the things you think could be done to help people like yourself? Because you're very young, you're younger than me, you know. Seeing it, so you're very, I'm not saying it because you're my cousin, honestly, you're very hardworking, you're very ambitious, you do a lot with a little, you're amazing, sweetie, you girls, hey. So what do you think could be done, you know, in a place like Nigeria to help more people like yourself who are coming up, have this passion to, in your sense, you know, do you want to do baking, you want to, you know, support more brides on their journey by providing even more beautiful weddings? So what can be done for Nigerians like yourself?
It's always good for small business owners to collaborate. I remember there was a time I wanted to do a photo shoot, but I couldn't afford a professional photographer. So I have a friend who takes pictures. I wanted to do a bridal shoot and then launch his bridal photography, his wedding photography rather. So he needed someone that could give him a wedding gown for free. So I offered to put down the wedding gown and the bridal accessories. I also have a friend who is a makeup artist. She was the one that did the makeup while the guy took the pictures. And there was this very young secondary school girl. She's a model. She's an upcoming model. So she was really looking for someone to model for. So she could post pictures. So we all just came together and we helped each other.
Wow.
So my friend did the makeup. My other friend took the pictures.
Wow.
The lady modeled. And after everything, we gave her some money. Just to
yeah.
We all came together and we did that. There was also a time I wanted to do a cultural photo shoot. I provided cultural beads because brides use beads.
Yeah.
And I also said that I said it, I make it. So I provided the beads that was used. A friend of mine who sews clothes, Mikoyo, she made the traditional attire. My friend did the makeup and the guy took the pictures. And there was also this studio we used. At that time, the studio just started. A very big photo studio. So I was even looking for people. So it just collected very small money from us.
Wow.
So it was going for everyone to promote their businesses. So
Right.
That's the best way. If you're looking to do everything by yourself, to just choke you, it's very, very hard. It's
right.
For like minds.
Right. Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much for sharing that, because I think a lot of the time when I do speak with fellow Nigerians, Nigerians in Nigeria, about what can be done, the first answer is something relating to government structure, the government, and it's quite refreshing that I think maybe we're quite aware that a lot of the leaders are somewhat incompetent, but you're just making the most out of your situation by collaborating where you can so you know, get that exposure as a small business, and it's not just for your benefit, it's for also those that are also part of the
Yeah.
collaboration.